of all people. So we'll see if Kenny Sampson can get this thing down the racetrack. He has to be able to make a full pull. Nothing else will count at this point. If he slips at one location, he's probably not going to make the field.
Here we go, Sampson Puglisi. Kenny Sampson really going to have to pull some out of his hat here, but it looks pretty good, though. Top of the racetrack. How about it? How about it? 9:45 for Aaron Puglisi. She improves. 9:52 for Kenny. So Kenny goes 26, Aaron 22. They're still chasing Kenny Martinez, that stout 9:09.3.
I don't know if anybody's going to take that 9:09, man. I think Kenny's got that just about locked up. TBAD right side here, making the trip from San Diego. The 2000 Integra sits number 9 on the field. Joe Conway in that Coyote-powered Mustang sits number 11 as they currently run. And to my bit of a surprise, we've seen some cars pick up some ET here. So we'll see if that trend continues.
Oye, si quiere ver una carrerita buena, esta carrerita promete 9-2, cualificando el Acura, 9-3 el Mustang, mira eso, hagan su apuesta. TV Motor Works, Acura íntegra.
Joe Conway carrying the hoop, setting him down. But left before the tree, so Conway will not have any improvement. TBAD will be behind. Top of the racetrack here for the Integra. 9:54.1, no improvement, will stay number 9.
And when I saw what happened with Joe Conway, he rolled into a deep stage, and I think he tried to hold it, and that is the official ruling from our starting line official. Joe Conway did roll the tree left before the tree came down. See, he went into a deep stage, and yep, it just came up straight up out of the beams, it looks like. So no time there for Joe Conway. He's going to stay number 11. As our next pair, Sean Calabrese, currently 17th out of Orlando, Florida. Firebird, and that's Merzit Malisic out of Windsor, Connecticut. On the right side, going 19th at a 9:43. At the quarter mile stripe on a 9:44 to a 9:46. No help for either driver. They'll stay number 17 and 19, but they're getting down the racetrack because they know it's elimination day today. So you got to make it to eliminations if you're going to be in it to win it.
As your next pair, rolling up here, Austin Ship, Jordan Costello. They're solid in the field right now, 10th and 16th. Higher positioning going to the Mustang out of Ocala, Florida. The number 10 spot right now is a 9:28.8 at 1:42. And we've seen guys either improve or be close enough in numbers that there's not been many changes. Jordan Costello in that left lane Civic with, the crew guy going down. My man, that's our first stuck man of the weekend.
I believe it is. There they go, clean and green. Austin Ship getting out there. At the top end, quarter mile, Austin Ship, a 9:36 to a 9:75. No help for either driver. They'll stay 10 and 16 on the field.
Oye, 9:36 para el Mustang, volando bajito, bajito. 9:7 para la Civic. Oye, que se están durmiendo esos impul. Hay que hacer mejor luz, mejor reacción. Los corredores, los pitman, infórmale. Se están durmiendo chévere. Los domésticos están haciendo unas reacciones en la madre.
So shifted Shane Stymus was the right side Mustang, left side Civic, Frank Nicotera. Both drivers, I think, okay in the field. Shifted Shane sitting number 7. Nicotera sits 20th with a 9:43.2. The 9:74.1 you see is the bump spot, Ben Zarpentine. Yes, clean launch for both drivers. I wouldn't expect to see much of an improvement from either on this one. Shifted Shane up at the finish line. The Mustang going to be a 9:39, 9:77 for Nicotera in that Civic.
I think these guys are putting their race day tune-up in it because they know, okay, just want to see what the track is going to hold right now. So I think they're most of them are pretty happy with where they're at the present time. Shifting Shane from where here goes number 7 as Damian Stevens in the Mustang on the right-hand side at Castor Center, Ontario, Canada. Currently number 14 at a 9:32, and Anthony Maya at a Uniondale, New York at the 92 Civic, currently 21st at a 9:43. And to give you folks an idea here, the bump spot last year for all motor, I'll get it for you here. The bump spot was a 10:55, so we're already nearly a second quicker. Not bad, 9:43.2 to a 9:59.6, so may have picked up 3 fouls. He's going to stay where he's at, number 20. Stevens going to stay 14.
Oye, como la Civic de atrás para adelante recogió el Mustang, eso se llama en mi pueblo del buche. Así que los que apostaron, suelta a los chavitos, los que perdieron.
Jan Stevens in that Thunderbird out of Ontario on the left side of the right lane Civic. That's going to be John Barnett, the K-Series powered Civic. Sit number 23 in the field now. Barnett has been very consistent. Both qualifying runs, 949s for that entry. Stevens on the far side, a 920 to 925 for the domestic.
And look at that, Barnett. Both his runs were a foul apart. I mean, that's a consistent race car, and consistency is going. I think it's going to be key here because it's not necessarily the fastest car on racing. It's the most consistent car, perhaps. But Chad Stevens, can he put it on the bumper? Yeah, puts it on the bumper a little bit, and there he goes. Problems there for
La Civic no se deja, mira eso. Ya.
926 there for Stevens.
Barnett found a couple numbers to a 941, moves up to 17th, finds 3 more numbers. As checking out the replay here. Look at Stevens, man. Bringing them hoops up and just plants them. Just falling like a pillow out there. You love it. As your next pair going to be coming up here, Carlos Sobrino left side there in Little Evil. That car was just bumped out. Here at the 91 Mustang Coyote Power, right side Angel Tejada. The 95 Civic K-Series Power also outside looking in. So a critical pass for both these drivers. Issues for Carlos. That thing just did not want to go when the front tires came up. I don't know if Sobrino's going to have enough here. A 993 Carlos Sobrino. Hoping to be an alternate. 10-13 with a 4, slight improvement for Angel, but same deal, hoping to be an alternate.
And he would be the first alternate, so that is a little bit, but again, Higgins, we talked about this yesterday. The fact that Carlos Sobrino, the fact he's able to be here this weekend and race, I think he calls that a win in itself, considering he's been through a lot over the last couple of years.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, Carlos is a very competitive dude. He is not happy he's not in this field. He's
All right, so racer, ladies and gentlemen, for you fans of Camber Village, and also in the pit area, if you need the poop tank to have your septic tank, freshwater tank topped off for your septic service tonight or tomorrow, make sure you go to WCF Merch, get your poop tank, as Albert Ramirez and Wendell Vickery are next two. Their numbers 27 and 29 right now. The bump at 974 by Ben Serpentine.
Serpentine right now enjoying the horseshoe that he's got. I'll tell you, I would not have expected 974 to still hold at this point.
Bien, vamos por encima, duelo de Honda Power, los import, cualificando número 27 el derecho con 964, Wendell Vickery. Albert Ramírez, cualificando número 29 con 967. Drag Cartel por el derecho, Fresh Motorsport por el carril izquierdo. Categoría All Motor presentado por Ford Piston. Dale para atrás. Están ahí avisando.
Yeah, that didn't sound good.
Oye, 1088, carril izquierdo. 623, vamos a ver, carril derecho. 960. 960. 145 millas mejorando. Pero sigue en la posición número 27. Hasta el momento cualificando.
Very strange set of circumstances there for both drivers, but they're both in the field, so I think we're just going to keep rolling with it at this point. As next pair rolling up, Rodolfo Burgos right side, number 30 in the field with a 968. I'd expect this car to slide up the leaderboard a little bit to get to the hook up. Jamie Marsh to the left. Green and black, 93 Civic K-Series Power, sitting number 12 in the field with 930 with a 6.
parejito. Jamie March, Rodolfo Burgos. Vamos a ver, Jamie March cómodamente hasta el momento. Toma, 9.25. 148 millas, 9.93 para el derecho. 141 millas. Jamie March in the house.
Jamie March, 9.25.0, moves up to the number 9 spot here. No improvement for Rodolfo Burgos. He will stay in the number 30 spot.
Viene el auto que está cualificando. Número 1, carril izquierdo, Kenny Martínez, corriendo 9.09. Vamos a ver. 2000 Beer, JBR Engine, Ninja Wiring. Clutch Master por el derecho, VIP Auto Service, Ron Beer.
Brandon Rodriguez and Sasha right side the Clutch Masters entry. Kenny Martinez, your number 1 qualifier there in the left lane. As Rodriguez looking like a freight train out there. Top end here for Martinez, 9.18.1, 148. Car has been very consistent though, a 9.09, 9.18, and a 9.27 to his name.
Zumba 9.18, 148 millas tiene Pague Real contra los domésticos. Kenny Martínez, que sus rondas de eliminatoria comenzará en la tarde de hoy. Así que no te dejes, Kenny.
As Rodriguez, who came in 34th, right now outside, still looking in and hoping to get in as an alternate, but as of right now, not in the 32 car field. This next pair, Jose Morales, that white machine outside looking in, sitting 35th in the field with a 93 Civic out of Massachusetts. Right side, Nick Perez in that 92 Civic out of Florida. He sits 28th in the field right now with the red entry. Joey Built on the side of the car. Miller Engines on the back. We'll see if Jose Morales can get this thing down the racetrack. The mile per hour of 134 and 10.04 needs to have a massive improvement here and find over 3/10 just to get to the bump spot. And it ain't gonna happen here. Doesn't even make it to the tree. Nick Perez heading down the racetrack and at the finish line looks solid to a 9.48.9. Big improvement for Nick Perez. That'll move him from 28th to 24th. Finally over 2/10.
Oye, Nicolás Pérez se acomoda ahora en la posición número 24 con 9.48. Estaba corriendo número 28, cualificando con 9.6. Ahora se mete en la posición número 24, Nicolás Pérez. Corillo de Miller Engine, JBR Engine también activo. Oye, queremos enviarle un saludo a CTF Fabrication desde Ay Bonito. Dímelo, Cristian Alvarado. Dímelo a la gente de CTF Fabrication, Ay Bonito en la casa. Saludito. Oye, que están activos en los bleachers. Cristian Alvarado, ya tú sabes, CTF Fabrication.
So Ben Zarpentine is going to be in the Volkswagen here on the Napa side. The red and black entry is on the bump. The 974.1 needs to find some more to get off the bump. And if so, would move Maxime Desrochers to the bump spot. John Diaz in the left lane, the white and black machine. 93 Civic and a New York K-Series power. Number 26 in the field right now, that 951.8.
Oye, para los fanáticos de los Volkswagen, chequeate este 6 cilindros por el derecho. La Civic no se va a dejar por el carril izquierdo. Está cualificando número 32, va a darlo todo. Ahora mismo en las 6 cilindros, así que va a dejar hasta los cantos a ver. Tiene que acomodarse mejor en el Super 32 All Motor, presentado por Ford Piston.
Zarpentine. Not bad on the 60. We'll see if he can move up the leaderboard a little bit here. Top end here for Diaz, 942. Big improvement for that machine. No improvement for Ben Zarpentine. It looked like the bumper may have been coming loose on the run there. So Diaz will actually move up the leaderboard to the number 19 spot. Ben Zarpentine will stay on the bump with the 74.1.
Sigue todavía en la misma posición. Se queda la GTI corriendo 9.9. Sigue con 9.74. Así que seguimos con ronda de cualificación, la última de la categoría All Motor, presentada por Ford Piston.
Alrighty.
So Jose Alvarado, Joe Pinella Jr., both heading down the racetrack. Wouldn't expect much improvement from these two, 947 to a 970. No improvement at all. Actually, Alvarado goes 4/10 slower than when he ran in qualifying. As the final car, Adam Hall in the left lane.
Cualificando con 9.50 en la posición número 26. Custom King, Shit Race Ward. Motor K serie, vamos a ver la Civic de Adam Hart.
So Adam Hall is his 26 in the field right now.
Los muchachos de barra media. 1.43, 2.60 pies, salió durito. 6.32 al octavo de milla, arriba. Con problema.
Adam Hall pulling off the side around the quarter mile, 11:18 with a 6. As looked like something maybe on the passenger side of that car may have been coming off.
Yeah, I just had the frame. It was like a...
Dímelo, Cheo Tabla, dímelo, Cheo Tabla, el camaleón, ¿dónde anda? Buenos días. ¿Dónde está? Ah, Gaby, se perdió. Igual que él, como era, como el que... No, él sabe, él sabe.
So keep an eye on the replay monitor up here in the booth. Like I said, I thought it was something on the passenger side. Yeah. Piece of the body on the right front popping out there.
At this time, I need Real Street Performance Extreme Front Wheel Drive. Final qualifying session 3 and 4. Real Street Performance Extreme Front Wheel Drive. Final qualifying session lanes 3 and 4. Real Street Performance Extreme Front Wheel Drive. Final qualifier 3 and 4.
We're going to work get the Adam Hall machine off. We'll go back live here in just a few moments. As the start line staff already working on getting the right lane touched up while we're waiting for Hall to get off, and we had a late arriver here. Don't win the category.
Vienen con José Morales por el carril izquierdo desde Oilioki. BC Reyes, Auto Sale, Amanza Motorsports, Tokyo Auto Works. Family Auto respaldando a los muchachos de la Civic con José Boritech. 1.56. 6.39 el octavo de milla buscando meterse en el juego. 10.01. 133 millas.
As a left lane Civic will be on the outside looking in here. And that'll conclude the final qualifying effort here for four-piston racing all motor. We're going to do some track prep real quick here with the left side. The crew's already got the right lane done. Turbo Smart Limited Street will be coming at you here momentarily.
Once again,
so at the end here of four-piston racing all motor, top of the leaderboard, Kenny Martinez, 9.093 at 151. With Mahmoud Aglana, the number 2 spot, 2 imports. Top of the leaderboard, 9.17 with a 6 there. Dan Wright's the number 3 spot, 9.18 with a 1. Chad Stevens in the number 4 position, 9.20 with a 0. Scott Milheim's in the 5th spot, 9.22 with a 2. Teddy Weaver with the same ET. Mile per hour is the difference between the two, with Scott Milheim's getting the position above. Shifting Shane Stymus, 9.22 with a 4. 2,000 behind the pair. At $1.44, Brandon Jefferson, the number 8 spot. Jamie Marsh goes to the number 9 spot. TBD, the number 10 position. Austin Ship, Joe Conway, Scotty Duncan, Damian Stevens, Jose Alvarado, Jordan Costello, your top half of the field. As I was going to tell you the rest of the field, but my computer has already switched over to Limited Street, so I can't tell you the remaining 16 cars in the field. We'll get to that later, though. Right now, we will be keeping an eye out here with Turbo Smart Limited Street. We've got a couple cars still on the outside looking in. We'll see what happens here as the bump spot currently held by Patrick Pelchat with a 12.69.1. I would easily expect that to get dropped down to an 8 if all these cars can get down the racetrack with no issues. If not, maybe a 7. There's a handful of cars in this category I think that are maybe holding a little bit or maybe have been waiting to swing just a tuck more, as we do have a couple parts calls here. Dale Arnold looking for some Jessel rocker adjusters. Again, Dale Arnold, he's got the Challenger. Look for the Jessel rocker adjusters. If anybody's got any, either bring them on up here or swing down to those pit stall. It's the gray Challenger, if memory serves me correctly. I believe it's Ryan Graham here looking for a Power Glide trans with 180 gear and a 164 tooth. Small block Ford bell housing or removable bell housing. It's the Mustang Racing Camp. All right, cars roaring back to life at the ready line. Track prep is officially complete. Final chance qualifier, Turbo Smart Limited Street, gonna be on deck here. Like I said, a couple cars outside looking in right now. As your first pair, going to be Shane Livestad in the CRX and John Langer and what I believe is this stick shift 69 Pontiac Trans Am out of Philly. And this thing is just an absolute beautiful car, man. Sitting up here from the tower.
Have you seen inside the car?
I have not.
Yeah, it looks great just inside the car. John Langer, always known for having beautiful looking race cars inside and out here, going through the gears down there on the burnout out of Philly. And then Shane Levis out of Weldon, Colorado, all the way from the mountains.
Of Maryland?
Of Colorado.
All right. Remember, there's more than one set of mountains out there, Fabian, especially in the state of Maryland.
The Mile High area.
All right. Well, if Wellington, Colorado is close to the Mile High area. H-Series under the hood there for the CRX left side, number 30 right now, and I'm sure would love to get a full pull here in to move up the leaderboard. That left side machine. John Langer, the Trans Am, sits number 7 in the field right now with a 7.66.6 at 179. Feeling pretty comfortable if I'm John Langer right now. Get some data here for eliminations and see how the car's going to react. Again, some of the worst air these guys have been seeing all weekend long. But I would say arguably some of the warmest track also, which could work in their favor in most cases. John Langer out there rolling through gears, it sounds like. Top end here for the Pontiac. Gonna be a 7.69.6, 180 on the mile per hour. Good lap there for Langer, 860 with an 8. Good pickup there for Shane. He'll move into the number 28 spot as they currently run.
Picked up 3 seconds at Shane.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with 28, but you know what? I'm more comfortable than I was coming in.
You got what you got at this point.
Yeah.
Así mismo, oye, de 30 con ese tiempazo que estaba perdido, haciendo 8.60 y de 30 lo que coge son 2 posiciones nada más a la posición número 28.
Next pair could be Bad Brad Scher on the left lane, the small block Ford Mustang out of Florida, sits number 6 in the field. I think he's good. Philip Paredes right side here. The Chrysler 300 out of Quebec, sitting number 26 right now, 840 with a 9. Now, Scher has been able to get down on the main hit. The hit before that was just about a little over half track hit. Liked how it felt, got her down the racetrack on the next one. Paredes, a little bit of inconsistency here from the Chrysler. The first hit didn't go very well. The main hit right now is the one that's got at the 26 spot, and I'm sure he would love to put a 7 on the board to solidify into the field. Okay at 26, don't know if I'm comfortable though.
There we go. There goes the Dodge, or the Chrysler. There goes the Mustang, top of the racetrack. How about an 8.07 to an 8.18? Bad bracket, stay number 6. But how about Phillip goes to number 21 on the qualifying order? A big improvement when he needed it.
I'd put that into what the doctor ordered type of deal. You know, tune-up looked good, got down the racetrack, picked up some numbers. I'm sure he's going to be happy here. Next pair, light the hides there. The Camara's going to be Rob Ingles. 69 Chevrolet, 582 under the hood here for the man out of Massachusetts. 14th in the field with the 777.9 at 174. Aaron Lopez in the right lane. The Civic out of Texas. The KTM Performance Entry, sitting number 10 right now in the field. I think both these cars are solidly in the field. I wouldn't have any worries at this point. Again, data going into eliminations at this point for these drivers.
Let me ask you this. Do you have a different approach? If you're solidly in the field, do you have a different approach now as opposed to if you're one of those guys to the outside looking at you get a little more risk, take more chances if you're perhaps not in the field or close to possibly getting bumped out?
I mean, I'm trying to put the tune-up as close to what it's going to look like at race time at this point. Or, you know, do you take a swing and try to find a little bit more? I mean, those are the two options you've got. You're in the field, maybe try something, see if it works, but keep the baseline tune-up to the side just in case you need it for later.
So damn if you do, damn if you don't, in a sense. Well, here we go. There goes Rob Ingles. Top end, he proving that 777, 775.8. He'll take it. 173, 781 for Aaron. No help. He'll stay number 10, and Rob going to stay 14, but he picked up a little bit.
But I think that's kind of what I was just talking about. I think, you know, the Camaro, they tried a little something, happened to work in their favor. I think Aaron kind of went a little bit more towards the race tune-up. So, you know, I think that was kind of a difference in tune-up opinions on that one, just kind of like what we were talking about up here, you know, and you can't be upset with it. So your next pair going to be coming up here. Sebastian Bourdais here from Canada, number 5 in the field, looking great out here. The nose still looks a little weird for me on this Charger, but dude, it works. I'm not going to say anything about it. It's a beautiful looking machine. You know, 4 doors of fun on that left lane Charger. Right side, Daniel Frisch, the 21 Supra, 26th in the field in that red car on the right side in Webster, New York. Ran an 8:38.1 for his best pass so far. 750s with a 4-door car in the left lane. See if we find a little bit more or not. Clean launch for the Charger. Supra gonna be the chase machine here, top of the racetrack. 762 with an 8, 179, 830 with a 7. As the Supra finds a little bit more here, 168. But no improvement, we'll stay 26. Sebastian stays number 5.
As I mentioned earlier, we're already several seconds quicker than we were last year. Dave Duffield currently lead the pack at a 7:34 with a 5 here in Turbo Smart Limited Street. As real quick, it's got a message here. I want to say a happy birthday today to the folks down there in Section D, to Annette Curtin and Toby Larone. Section D from England. The folks from Santa Pod. As Patrick Pelchat is on the bubble, that 1269 with a 1. Out of Quebec, Canada, that's Wayne Willoughby on the right-hand side, number 23 to 825. So Wayne, a 25.
I'm okay. I think right now, the way things are looking, Patrick is the one I'm curious about what he's going to do here. He's got to swing a little bit. Looked lazy, but it seems to be working. Top end for Patrick, 861.7, 146. I mean, you're going to move up the leaderboard to number 29, but I think Patrick has just had so many issues this weekend. Just put a tune-up in it, get it down the racetrack. We'll see if it helps or not, and it does improve him. So I guess you've got that in the pocket, at least to say, but I still don't know if I'm comfortable with 29, Fabian.
I need M Racing DCT to 5 and 6. DCT to 5 and 6.
Numbers 2 and 11 in the qualified field on deck right now. Lucas English in that left lane machine out of Washington State. He sits number 2 in the field right now with a 744. AJ Burge is in that right lane. Ram Charger Security Dodge Challenger out of West Babylon, New York. Number 11 right now with a 770 with a 0 on the lone hit he's had in qualifying. So the Evo 8. Looking strong so far. Everybody chasing down David Duffield, who ran a 34.5 in qualifying on the lone hit. Chowder looked pretty good.
It did look good. Top of the racetrack for AJ. How about a 751 at 183? 832 for Lucas English. He'll stay number 2, but a big improvement for AJ, going all the way up to number 3.
I'd say the way that thing launched, that thing just hooked up and gone.
Sounded nice. As here comes Darren in a blaze of glory Barone, the winner back in 2023. We say blaze of glory because he was in the final against Samantha Moore. The brakes caught fire down there in the shutdown, and I kid you not, he's standing on top of the car celebrating while the EMTs, our fire rescue, is still putting the fire out down at the far of the racetrack.
And I'm not going to say that they also sprayed him down because he had the hot hand, but
yeah, he did. And Samantha, and I talked to Samantha more than that. She's still sitting in her car like, what the? And then she saw, she's like, ow. So Alex Duff left side. Curly 16, 780. So right now that will put Alex top half of the field with lane choice round 1 later today. I don't think lane choice is going to be all that important. We've seen amazing runs out of both sides of the racetrack. But here's Darren Barone, right side, trying to see if he can move back up to number 3. And Darren, 116 short, top end of the racetrack. Alex Duff, 807, no help. Going to stay number 16, 937 for Dan Barone. He was avid early. So they'll stay numbers 4 and 16.
Your number one qualifier, David Duffield, popping up here, the 240SX out of Landerburg, Pennsylvania. The only car in the 30 zone so far here in the Turbo Smart Limited Street category. Rich Ong in the right lane, the 93 Eagle Talon. Number 27 right now with 851. I'd expect the Talon to find a little bit more here. Only 142 on the mile per hour mark. I would expect a massive improvement here for Rich if this thing just gets down the racetrack. There, Gregory Racing MFD race on board. David Duffield was Sleeper Tuning, Sunoco Race Fuel. Miles Tires, Link ECU. Fast Fab Performance, Roche Racing Power to the hood with Import DPS, Garrett Motion, and the Northeast Body Shop helping out.
Oh, by the way, Mark Benson Jr. sent me a text. That is still the same 20-plus-year-old motor he's got in that car. So Duffield, do you think he can go a little quicker than a 34?
I think at this point, put the race tune-up in and see what she does. I think for Duffield.
Rich Ong would love to move up to the 27th spot, but a 118 short for David Duffield. Top end of the racetrack. How low can he go? Well, he clicked it off, 783. And Rich Ong,
Clicked it off super
961.
early, dumped the chute at the 8th mile. Still coasted down to a 783 at 129. No improvement for Ong, as Fabian just said. He'll stay in the number 27 spot.
all right, again, still need DCT to 5 and 6. Embrace DCT to 5 and 6. Let me get Mickey Thompson, Outlaw versus Extreme for your final qualifying session. Lanes 1 and 2, please. Mickey Thompson, Outlaw versus Extreme for your final qualifying session 1 and 2. Still need M Racing DCT to 5 and 6.
Viene categoría Aula versus Extreme. Vayan bajando. Última ronda de cualificación. Aula versus Extreme. Última ronda. Viene, chequeate esta carrerita. Supra, motor de BM. Ya tú sabes. Carril izquierdo, el M2. Lo que le gusta a John Sawyer Racing, que está activo el M2 color blanco. Y ya tú sabes, con el mismo motor. Oye, saludando el Colo de Humacao. Dímelo, Colo, saludito.
So Noel Mitchell left side out of Richmond, Virginia. Currently 22nd, and Jesse Izaguirre, Lake Forest, Illinois, number 10, 767.
Número 10 por el carril derecho. Y óyeme, número 22 por el carril izquierdo. En el left lane tenemos a Noel Mitchell, Jesse Izaguirre por el derecho. Uy, un pequeño wheelie para el BMW. Vamos a ver en qué posición se pone mientras el Supra lo lleva al frente, pasando con 7.72 a 179 millas. 8.28 a 166 para el BMW.
772 for Jesse Izaguirre, no help. 828 for Noel Mitchell, no help. They'll stay numbers 10 and 22 on the qualifying orders. Our next pair completing the burnouts. That's Chris Duckowitz at Uniontown, Pennsylvania, the 97 Ombre. And he's remembered by having one of the most interesting runs in the World Cup. As real quick, Chris Rankin is looking for a full spectrum battery, full spectrum power battery rep here on the property, or somebody that has a high-speed charger available, so they can make the next qualifier. So again, if you can help them out, they need a full spectrum power battery rep or a high-speed charger. If you can help Chris Rankin out, please let us know up here in race control.
So Mike Kanovic right side here on the Super. Chris Duckwood's left side in the Ombre. Clean launch for both drivers. Numbers 5 and 19 in the field right now. The Super keeping up with Duckwitz. Should be an improvement here. Top end, 769. One improvement for Kinovic. 833.0 out of it early there for the pickup. Is Kinovic will move up to the number 11 spot.
Óyeme, 769 es hoy en la posición número 11, mientras la Pickup Serie K se mantiene en la posición número 5. Con 7.56 en su paso anterior a 185 millas. Óyeme, la categoría Outlaw versus Extreme. Tienes tu último turno al bate. Ve bajándolo ahora. Tienes tu último try así para que entre. Si estás fuera del juego, te da break a entrar siempre y cuando lo hagas bien en este paso. Así que Outlaw versus Extreme, ve bajándolo. Que si no, Jimito, el inspector, te regaña. Saludos.
Mike Chittenden left side here in that red Mazda RX-7 waiting patiently while they get a little something cleaned up there on the starting line. Brandon Scott sitting us right there, saw the Band-Aid on the driver's side door for the MR2 out of the Bronx. Right now they're sitting right in the middle of the pack. 18 to 19 of the field. This is a 32-car field. Bump spot right now is held by Wander Perez with the 1196 you see up on the board. Got a pair of cars still outside looking in. We'll see if they'll be able to make the hits or not. So Brandon Scott, Mike Chittenden into the pre-stage beams. Play launch there for the RX-7. The MR2 doing a little move, but keep it under control. Top end here for Chittenden. Going to be a 748.8. Big improvement for Chittenden. 189. And Scott coasts it down to a 969 with a 4. Mike Chittenden will rocket himself up to the number 4 spot behind Duffield and English.
Oye, 7:48 para el RX-7 que sube a la posición número 3.
As the Baconator coming up left side here, Len Bacon and the RX-7. A little bit lower the ladder than I would expect with the number 25 spot, 827 with the 2, Carlos Sobrino. The fastest naturally aspirated Coyote-powered Mustang here on the right lane. Went 825 with an 8 for his best pass, and we're on the street is Sobrino's got a little bit more left in him. Playing pretty well out there. Top end here for the pair. Carlos, 835, 6, 161, and a 788.9 big improvement for the Baconator. Moves up to the number 20 spot. Sobrino 25th as the, I believe, final car here for the Turbo Sport Limited Street category. Monique Ambrosi, the Supra out of Australia, or the Supra, which is Norris Preonto owned. She is from Australia, to be very specific on that one.
The Supra's from Virginia.
Yes.
Ahí tenemos Girl Power en los controles del Supra por el carril izquierdo. Óyeme, el Racing Influencer, la australiana que está en los controles del carril izquierdo. Vamos a ver cómo le va. Está hasta el momento el número 17, Monique, con 779. Vamos a ver si Monique Ambrusi, óyeme, mejora ese tiempo de 779 y sube de la posición número 17, Monique.
So her first run was a 97 with a 6. Second run was a 779 with a 3. I wouldn't be too surprised if they sent her down with a 5 on the board here.
75?
That would put her up in the top 7 if so. I don't know. We'll see what kind of tune Norris has got in this machine.
Left good, 121 short for Monique. Top end of the quarter mile. How about a 766, 181 for Monique from the land down under.
And they are very happy with that pass on that one. That'll be good for the number 9 spot.
There you go.
I said top 7. I was off by 2.
Así mismito, ella subió a la posición al número 9, Monique mejorando con ese tiempo de 766.
As that will conclude the Turbo Sport Limited Street category final chance qualifier, David Duffield on top of the leaderboard here with Lucas English in the number 2 spot, Mike Chittenden number 3, AJ Burge in the 4th spot, Darren Barone, Chris Duckwood, Sebastian Bordeaux, Brett Batshare in the number 8 spot. We just saw Monique go to the number 9 position here with the 766.0. John Langer in the number 10 spot, Kerry Eldstrom, Jesse Isguire, Mike Kinovic, Aaron Lopez, Norris Preonto, number 15 spot, Ray Fajezzo in the number 16 spot.
So look at that. We're looking at our numbers here. The fastest run there in Limited Street was Lucas English, 196. The next fastest run, or at least in the top 16, was nearly 6 miles an hour slower. But hey, I mean, that's why we qualify Monique T. So real quick, we need a final call for M Racing DCT to 5 and 6. Final call for M Racing DCT 5 and 6. Also, Mickey Thompson Outlaw versus Extreme. Need you to 1 and 2. Mickey Thompson Outlaw versus Extreme lanes 1 and 2.
Así mismito, óyeme, los de la categoría nueva, la categoría DCT, Dual Clutch Transmission, óyeme, que son los carros exóticos, los que han venido en años anteriores, no han tenido la oportunidad de ver esta categoría que se estrena Este año aquí en el evento Import versus Domestic, que es donde van a estar los Lamborghini, los Audi, todos esos carros exóticos. Además, mire, como uno dice, $200,000 en adelante, papá. Y le meten como 100 más para ponerlos a correr. Así que cuando tú has visto un Lamborghini con paracaídas, con lisa, aquí los vas a ver a continuación.
All right, so the officials doing a little scraping around the starting line. What they're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is you got to have rubber laid down on the racetrack for good traction. But if you have too much rubber or if you get bald spots, the officials will go out there, scrape up the old rubber, pull new rubber back down again. And that's what they are doing there. Our starting line officiating crew and also the guys from Total Venue Concepts here with us this weekend. Jason Miller bringing in the A-team here for the Altec World Cup Final presented by Wisecal Import versus Domestic. But also, ladies and gentlemen, while it's quiet here, make sure you go get your WCF merch and get it while it lasts. They're running really low on sizes of shirts and hoodies and hats, so get your WCF merch. And I believe there was a new design that was released, I believe, last night that you want to go get it. You better go get it now. And
Así me invito él. Recuerda pasar por la carpa de Willy Monster Teacher. Tienen variedad de camisas disponibles. Camisas de PR, rotativo, pistón. Tienen un sinnúmero de gorras. Así que dale para la carpa de Willy Monster Teacher disponible. Y sigue llegando la gente aquí a Maryland International Raceway World Cup Final. Ya en breve la categoría es de Chef.
gente, los bleachers están llenos, así que por favor, las pertenencias que tenga que ocupen espacio, ponlo al frente en tus pies, porque mire, tenemos que dejarle, son solamente 14 pulgadas las distancias 3 personas para que puedan estar cómodos y se puedan sentar. Recuerda que esto es un evento que está completamente sold out, completamente vendido. Flow, un concierto de Bad Bunny que no cabe nadie, para así mismo estamos. Así que dale espacio al compañero Fiebru que viene a ver las carreras igual que tú y ponte tu neverita, tu cartera al frente de los pies. Y el corillo de las pavas, si no, mete la nevera dentro de la pava, papito, y ahí le esconde. Zumba, Manolo, dame las pavitas, Puerto Rico en la casa. Ahí está, ya está. Vamos para encima, zumba, chama. Y Sammy Project.
All right, so once again, folks, a little touch up to the racing service. We got the stick shift completion coming up. So again, for you folks that are walking in on the entrance road, welcome to Maryland National Raceway. I hope you got your tickets because no tickets are being sold at the gate. We are 100% completely sold out. So by show of hands, help me out here. Both sides of the race, show of hands. How many of you fans out there bought your tickets on September 1st? Who bought your tickets September 1st? All right. Who's going to buy their tickets September 1st next year? All right. Who wants free beer? Can't help you.
Se quedaron Puyu. El que quiera cerveza gratis, mire, y dale para los people que te quedaste Puyu.
And unfortunately, no, I will not be foot racing this year. I am on the injured reserve list. But look, I think we're looking at our live shot from the field next door. I'm telling you, the field next door looks absolutely packed there. The parking crew did a phenomenal job, as they always do with the parking. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of pieces that make this event come together. And Jason Miller, Chris Miller, we miss you. We love you, brother. Rachel, the entire MVP staff, in correlation with Royce, Jen, Rebecca, Joe, and the entire MIR staff, correlation to put this event together to make this event happen. And I'm very fortunate that this is. I've been here 21 years. This is my 17th World Cup final. 17.
Una leyenda, me siento orgulloso de haber compartido este micrófono contigo. Son 21 años que lleva el pan aquí metiéndole a la locución, el gran Fabian Brown.
Well, actually, I didn't tell you the whole part of that. This is my 17th World Cup. And unfortunately, my last World Cup until next year.
Okay.
See, I had y'all going.
Oh, no.
I had y'all going, but we'll be back.
17 años dándole a la World Cup, 21 trabajando para la pista. Y te iba a acabar de decir que el último año sí, ajá, hasta el año que viene. Porque Fabian Brown, ya tú sabes la energía del evento.
But I'm gonna do so. I didn't get a chance to do this at World Cup last year. Well, I may have, but something happened last year that we're partying. But real quick before we pull them into the box, this is for Higgins and Beth. Tomorrow, 1 year. And I tell you what, and I tell you what, Kelly and I, we had the honor of attending one of the beautiful weddings I'd ever seen. And I'm not gonna lie, I did get a little emotional because Higgins did. I don't think you did too. I think we all did. It was like a very beautiful ceremony, and I was very honored to be a part of it. And did you see the video of your husband dancing? The one with. He was. But I tell you what. And here's the funny part. You know that at weddings they have like the money dance where you pay $20, you either dance with the bride or the groom. Somebody paid $20 for me, maybe dance with the groom.
Viene entrando los que faltaban de la categoría Stick Shift. Ya esto está corriendo. Y no me tiro la de darle para los bleachers porque los bleachers no cabe nadie, pero me puedo tirar la de que párate que esto va a comenzar.
Well, boys, track prep is complete. We are back underway with Greatest Racing Stick Shift, continuing from last night's qualifier. As Miles Kerr and Sean Madden going to roll up here, and I think Miles Kerr may have electric windows in the car. As the right side window, I believe, looks like it is down. He's trying to keep cool out there. So Miles Kerr, the Integra, right side, right now number 21 in the field with a 755.5. Sean Madden in that left lane sits third in the field with a 679.1 that he ran. That 79.1 was good for fifth all time on the top 10 list. Everybody chasing the Nick Coleman machine with the 57.1 that he ran last night. Josh Banning in the number 2 spot.
Viene de más 100 Maiden por el carril izquierdo, Miles Kerr por el carril derecho.
So Miles Kerr Napa side, Sean Madden Coors Light side. Both guys, I would say, are solidly locked into the third two-car field. The 64-4 is the bump spot held by Brad Gary. A couple cars outside looking in still.
Machine, número 3 se encuentra. La posición número 3 con 679. Vamos a ver si mejora carril derecho. Número 21 con 775.
Clean launch for both. Piece of debris off the Madden machine. Top end, 674.7. A lot of smoke out of the Miles Kerr machine, dissipating. Might be a turbo getting let go, and I believe I saw a little flame puff up out of the hood there. 766.6, 192. He'll move up to the number 19 spot. And a 674.7, so improvement also for Sean Madden to the number 2 spot.
Here comes the replay from the top end of the racetrack, and Miles Kerr, it went boom right there in the lights, and then he got it pulled over and stopped as quick as he possibly could. But Sean Madden, 674, moving up to the number 2 qualifying spot.
Los muchachos ya dándole la mano ahí para poder sacarlo de la pista, ya que confrontó problemas al final de la pista el Integra.
So that, I believe, was a career best pass for Sean Madden. Career best before that was a 79 with a 1. Just ran a 74 with a 7.
All right, real quick, there's a green media vest on the left side that's down there by the 330. You need to move back or we will take the vest from you. You need to be behind the media sign or the vest will be taken from you. Thank you.
Gracias.
As next pair, left side going to be Thomas West, Al Ranke here on the right lane. Numbers 27 to 30 in the qualified field at the moment. And I believe this will be the final pair for Greatest Racing stick shift. Well, we did see Miles Kerr, Sean Madden, pardon me, both pick up. We'll see if West and Ranke could do the same here. So 4 cars to complete the Greatest Racing stick shift category that we did start and almost completed last night before the massive cleanup.
Right, and the one thing about Thomas West and Al Ranke that they have a little bit of an advantage. They don't have to worry about getting bumped out. So they make a bad run, they're in. They make a good run, move up, they're in. So they don't have to worry about too much. It's like, hey, you know, this is the point where you can take some chances, perhaps.
Well, and based on their career best, both these cars should be way quicker and faster than what they have been. I mean, only an 840 and an 850. Both these cars have been, Ranke was low 7s, West has been mid 7s. Well,
and West rolled through. And waiting to get a ruling from the start line officials on that. 7:08 at 2:08 for Al. Big improvement, a career best for Al, moving up to number 7. And Thomas West, that 864 is not going to help many, but he looked like he may have rolled through. And, well, red line start, but again, the run was slower anyway. As here's our top 10. Nick Coleman, no surprise. 657, your number 1 qualifier at 222 miles per hour, the fastest stick run ever. He nearly has 2 tenths on Sean Madden. Josh Manning 3rd, Cletus McFarland 4th, John Rogers in the top 5. The rest of your top 10, Troy Klutz, Al Ranke, Josh Tonsky, Devin Schultz, Ryan Peterson. As we're going to extreme front wheel drive, final qualifying session coming up, brought to you by Rural Street Performance.
So, of course, Hal Gomez, Ray Fajezzo, Patrick Dumont, Michael Wohler, Sean Roberts, Dino Ramirez, your top 16. I'd go through the full 32, but again, my screen is locked up.
Mickey Thompson, Outlaw versus Extreme. Need you to 1 and 2, please. Mickey Thompson, Outlaw versus Extreme to 1 and 2.
So we are getting ready to rock and roll now, going into the Real Street Performance Extreme front-wheel drive category. And Fabian, this is going to be a final chance qualifier, but the first thing I want to bring up before we get too deep in here is the car that's rolling into the right lane water box. Bradley Dillon, the lone domestic, not in the field now.
Wait. Bradley Dillon not going to final qualifier, not in?
So the Dodge is going to have to make a swing. I hope that it's going to work. He's had some weird struggles so far this week. And Wes Spry, we've seen him have his own challenges. Losing the hood, smashing the windshield, replaced both. Ready to rock and roll here. Went 804 and an 807 so far for his 2 runs. One losing the windshield, one keeping it at a $174. So Wes Spry's been in the 200-mile-an-hour zone before. Don't be surprised if you see a 7 on the board for Spry. Bradley Dillon has taken 3 different platforms into the 7-second zone, 2 different import motors, and a domestic motor. The only man in the history of front-wheel drive to do so. So the guy has a resume that many have tried to duplicate, but nobody able to replicate. It is a 16-car category, and Bradley Dillon, outside looking in, the man carrying the flag for the domestics, has to swing and connect on the Grand Slam here.
He does, and taking on the Wes Spry. Wes Spry, the defending champ.
So Spry, the competition 1 clutch machine on the left side. Bradley Dillon, the Dillon roofing machine here in the right. All eyes will turn to Bradley Dillon. Will the SRT get down the racetrack?
Vamos por encima, tremendo carrerón. Bradley Dillon, Wes Spry por el carril izquierdo.
So Wes is going to leave. Bradley's going to sit and wait for just a moment. Timer has not started for Bradley. Top of the racetrack here for Wes Spry. Going to be a 799.0, 195. Wes has number up. Here comes Bradley. 141 short time for the Dodge. Keep an eye on Bradley.
Va muy bien, va muy bien.
Smoking it down the track. 790 with a 9. 193. Bradley's in the show. 193. 790 with a 9 to the number 5 spot for Bradley Dillon. The lone domestic makes the field.
Se mete en el juego Bradley Dillon con 790 en la posición número 5. 193 millas en el Dodge. Rayos, 799 para Wes Spry, 195 millas. Oye, autoamericano el Dodge, guerreando contra los import, ahí activo. Bradley Dillon, Dillon Roofing, dímelo, Colo, Maracao, RC, por ahí activo en los bleachers, dímelo. Rayo, categoría Sport Front Wheel Drive, categoría con el respaldo del Real Street Performance. Dímelo, Gio, Real Street es lo que hay, activo. La categoría de las camisas del coquero. Las que son tumbadas.
So, we're going to go check the racetrack real quick. I believe my guess is behind the Bradley Dillon machine as that thing started smoking right around the 1,000-foot. But, I mean, he was on one of those passes where he was either making the field or the motor was going to go. One of the two were happening. He's stuck all the way in. So, Bradley Dillon, the number 5 spot. Wes Spry does move up to the number 9 position with a 799.0.
Viene en el área del burnout, entrando, está por el carril izquierdo. El número 1 hasta el momento, Víctor Álvarez, con la Civic con 781. Ese mismito está en la posición número 1 en la cualificación, Víctor Álvarez. Y Max Ledu en la posición número 8 con 798. Vamos a ver si Víctor mejora ese 781 o Max mejora el 798. Estamos a punto de ver qué va a pasar con la Front Wheel Drive.
Sí, mimito, es el boricua Víctor Álvarez. Se ha rankeado así mito corriendo 781, 196 millas. Están volando bajito de las categorías. Es Front Wheel Drive, Real Street Performance. Dímelo, Sua Fabrication, dímelo, activo. Viene, ¿te gusta esta categoría? Honda Power, Sua Fabrication, dímelo, activo. Y lo que le gusta a Pimar, Fiberglass, los Honda K24 que están dando dura. Ya vieron lo que hizo el R7 de George, del team de Lady Justice, de la abogada Racing. que se metió en la zona de los 6:14 a 225 millas. Mi panita el Gio. Dímelo, gozando el corrido del George. Pimar en la casa, Pimar Fiberglass.
Oye, como ya está curioso, los top 3 hasta el momento en la Pro Four Wheel Drive es Víctor Álvarez, Denis Nevares, Wilson Tavares. Así que es Álvarez, Nevares, Tavares. Los primeros 3 en la categoría X Front Wheel Drive.
Well, Bradley Dillon is on the cleanup clock here for the front wheel drive category. And if it takes longer than 5 minutes, may have a fine depending on the block style he has. If it's cast block, he'll have a fine. If it is a billet, it'll just be a warning.
Zumba, así mismo en la posición número 3, Wilson Tavares, Cookie Team Racing dominicano, gente buena. Muchos dominicanos que está aquí presente de nuestra hermana República Dominicana, que muchas batallas nos hemos dado ahí cariñosamente, lo que es del béisbol, baloncesto, también el drag. Los dominicanos activos en los front wheel drive, también la categoría Warrior versus 3/4 con el coche bomba, también los muchachos de el Trueno Móvil, Isidoro de los Santos, que están por ahí activos en este evento del World Cup Final aquí en Maryland International Raceway. Dímelo, Helio, Easy Precision Balance, ¿y dónde anda? Dímelo, Canito, San Lorenzo, por ahí, Cabrillo Fran Volcon, activo, mucho tracción delantera, activo en esta categoría, que también está la boricua Johanna Marí, no se va a dejar. También Rafa, el duro, Nati Racing también en esta categoría de los Sport Front Wheel Drive.
So apparently, folks, we have 2 ladybugs racing up our window here at Race Control.
The sleep deprivation has kicked in for the announcers up here. We are not saying that they are racing, but Jose and myself are having too much fun. We're going to leave it at that.
And real quick, just to let everybody know, Bradley Dillon does have an iron. It's a billet block. He doesn't have a billet block, so he is on the clock. So if his cleanup does take longer than 5 minutes, he will be given an official warning. There is no fine because he has the billet block, but if it does go longer than 5 minutes, he will be given an official warning. As one just spun the tires, our ladybug race up here. Uh-oh. He's going back after it. I think that one's. I think the one on the right side going after it's Cletus McFarland apparel. Racing over to WCF merch, get that too, and wait, stopped. Oh my goodness. So just about complete on the cleanup on the actual racetrack, not our window up here.
Y a rayos, Suba Fabrication, mira, me dicen que tú eres corazón Mitsubishi, me están informando por ahí, dice el Jova Tuning. Y a rayos, Suba, dile, no te dejes, Honda Power. Así que sigue llegando la gente aquí, World Cup Final, esto está empaquetado, gente. Si ven la aplicación de FloRacing, puede ver el dron dándole la vuelta a toda la pista y esto está lleno a capacidad. Está lleno a capacidad. Recuerda que si tienen los monchis trepados, está la buena gente del Coquí Food Truck al frente de los baños. Si estás en los bleachers del lado derecho, si están los bleachers grandes, también tienen los muchachos del Coquí Food Truck ahí, la empanadilla, los pastelillos ahí, variedad. aprovecha que están en la madre. Y viene, ¿dónde están esos boricuas? Los bleachers, ¿dónde están esos boricuas? Sube la mano, sube la mano, sube la mano, sube la mano. Viene, vamos a calentar motores para que la gente sepa, los latinos sepan, los americanos sepan el refrán de nosotros. Vamos a ver. Yo soy boricua. Y yo soy boricua. Al Callao.
All righty, so real quick, since the cleanup did take All right, so real quick, so Bradley Dillon, the cleanup time took 7 minutes, so so Bradley Dillon was under the 5-minute maximum allowance plus the 3-minute there's a 3-minute leeway time. So thank all of our officials who got that done quickly. So Bradley Dillon, no warning.
Just to clarify, the 3 minutes of leeway is the time for the tractors to get down and back.
Exactly. So it's 5 minutes total, and then 5 minutes, then 3 minutes allowed for the tractor. So it was officially called at 7 minutes. So no warning to Bradley Dillon.
All right, here we go. New K-Series record holder Victor Alvarez in the left lane. What a 781.7. Top of the leaderboard right now. Max Ledoux in the right side out of Canada. Right now, number 8 of the field went 7 out of 8 with a 4.
Viene carril izquierdo, número 1 en la categoría, Víctor Álvarez con 7.81. El número 8 en el carril derecho, Max con 7.98. Vamos a ver si mejora el carril derecho porque el izquierdo ya está en la número 1.
So Max will make the run here on the Napa side of the racetrack in the 99 Civic. Victor Alvarez there on the yellow, silver, and black machine. NBC going to be on board. Good clean launch there from Victor. Issues there from Max. 8:15 with a 6 there. A 151. Same mile per hour, just about at the 8th.
So real quick, reminder, ladies and gentlemen, make your WCF merch. It's running extremely low back there on quantity shirts, hats, hoodies. You better go get it now. How about this car? Nicole Elf, Miss PSI, on the left side at Avon, Indiana, the 92 Civic. And Michael Manley, who has gone 799. He's been in the 770s before. Remember a couple years ago when he just out of the weeds, this came a 775. So he can go there. Nicole would love to go, put it in the 7s.
Viene Girl Power por el carril izquierdo. Oye, la primera mujer en los 7 segundos en la categoría Front Wheel Drive. Ahí la tienen por el carril izquierdo a Nicole Elf. Michael Manley por el derecho con 7.99 en la posición número 10. Número 15 para ella con 8.08. Vamos a ver si cruza ahora el charco a los 7 segundos Nicole.
So Manley and Elf both getting ready to go here. Pre-stage beams on for the pair. Manley on the Napa side. Elf on the course lights. Side lights are going to be down. Clean and green both sides of the racetrack. Cole Elf, decent on the 60. Expect a 7 on the board. Top of the race, Nicole Elf, 798 with a 3. She's going to be in. 8-10 with a 9 there for Michael Manley. So Nicole Elf will come up from the 15th spot to the 9th spot. Manley will go to the number 11. I'm sorry, Elf will go to the number 8 spot, actually, by a thou over Ledoux. And Michael Manley, number 11. So Jason Marsh, 8-10 with a 5 is your current bump. 11 cars in the 7-second zone here in the 16-car category in Real Street Performance Extreme Front Wheel Drive.
Oye, sube la posición número 8 Nicole, de la posición número 15 con los 7.98. Y checate el bump, donde está en 8.10. Hace varios años atrás, llegar a los 7 segundos se ve imposible. Y ahora, si no está en los 7, está apretado. 8.10 tiene el número 16. Así que si corres más de 8.10, está fuera. Tienes que correr de 8.10 para abajo.
So Andrew Fernandez, left side here, number 15 right now in the field with an 8.07. And I think if you don't have a 7 at minimum, you're going to be in trouble making the category here. Ishmael Medina sits on the right side, outside looking in right now for that B-Series powered CRX out of Utah as they are pushing the car back. Now, they didn't stage, so if they can figure out what's going on with it, they could try to make a run at the end of the category. But Andrew Fernandez, the B-Series powered Civic, will make a solo pass here. 1:39 short time here for Fernandez. Keep an eye on the left lane. If it stays together, should be solid and has a board of the run, it looks like. 9:13, 8:1:11. A 1:39.60 foot tells me that car was going to do something, but somewhere between the 3/3 and the 8th mile, it was out of it. You look at only 131 miles an hour at the 8th mile, so already aboard of the run early. I don't know. I'm not happy with an 8.07 trying to qualify for this category. Again, I don't think if you have a 7 on the board, and even that, I think you're going to be right in that window where you're going to be in that 14th to 16th area without a 7. As JF Kelly shows up here on the right lane, last year's runner-up. I believe the 89.4, if it's not a career best, it was close to it for this machine out of Quebec. To the left of him is going to be Ricky Silva, the competition clutch machine. Ricky Silva has to put a 7 up. He's number 22 in the field, and 8:36.8. It's go or go home. Get a 7, that's your goal. End of discussion. Nothing else matters for Ricky Silva.
JF Kelly, óyeme, por el carril derecho, llegando segundo lugar el año pasado en la categoría. Se encuentra en la posición número 4 con 7.89. Carril izquierdo hasta el momento está fuera del baile con 8.36 en la posición número 22. Vamos a ver si Ricky Silva se mete a los, óyeme, menos de los 8.10 para entrar en esos primeros 16.
So the pressure is on for Ricky Silva. Has to swing, hit the Grand Slam, Hail Mary pass, wherever you want it to be in order to try to make the field. Again, anything less than a 7, I don't think is going to get you into this category. As JF Kelly's in, Ricky Silva rolls it in deep. That's going to hurt him potentially. The 168 short's not going to be enough for Silva. I don't think he's making the field. Top end at the quarter mile, an 8:46 will not be good enough. That is worse than the 36.8. JF Kelly's coasting it down and pulling off, it looks like right around the quarter mile marker or so. So we'll go down and pick up JF Kelly.
Y se queda lamentablemente fuera del juego Ricky Silva. No logró el objetivo. Carril derecho, JF Kelly, oye, tranquilo en la cuarta posición. Y así le toca correr.
And real quick, when with Ricky Silva, when he went into a deep stage, that actually hurts you in qualifying because even though it puts you 8 or 9 inches closer to the finish line, it kind of hurts your momentum on ET, so you're not getting that full quarter-mile run. It'll help you in elimination because like you're 8 or 9 inches closer to the finish line, but it hurts your elapsed time.
Well, in this specific case, you're correct, 100% for the record, because you don't have that rolling momentum when those beams break. But a 164 short for these types of cars is not going to cut it.
No.
You got to be in that one low 50, 40 range. Even with a 50, you got to back half like nobody's business at that point. You're talking a low 50 with these types of cars. The 60-foot is such a critical component for these machines with the way that they run. that if you can't 60 foot, you cannot get down the racetrack, and there is nothing you can do about it. So like right now, Ryan Harmon, who went a career best 8:04.7 at 194, is looking for his first 7, and he's looking for a low 140 potentially to try to get to that 60 foot. Brianna Smeltz, she's on the outside looking in. She's gonna be looking for that 60 to try to see if she can make the category. And if you're running 130s, congratulations on your 60. If you bang it through the gears, you're looking good.
So Ryan Harmon looking at a possible career best right now, 8:04 with that 7. But Brianna Smeltz, I'm surprised that she is on the outside looking a bit. Higgins, like you said, you got to be at least, I would say, a 147, 148, 60 foot perhaps right now to 810 with a 5 is what the bump spot is. But you got to probably go 780, 790 to keep yourself into this tight field.
Your goal is a 90 right now. 790, you've got a shot at least. I mean, right now there is so much happening, and these cars, I mean, Jose, Caqueto, Fabian, are so temperamental. They will humble you quicker than your mom if you make her mad. Like, they will just put you on top of the world and smack you down quicker than anything I've ever seen.
That is a fact.
Some of the hardest cars to drive out there, and that's why you tend to see so many potential mistakes made, because there's so many things that can go wrong that you have to do so many things correctly for it to all come together. So Brianna Smeltz and Ryan Harmon will get ready to go side by side. Harmon's in right now. Smeltz is outside. Harmon's going to leave clean. 149 short. There's potential there. Smeltz not going anywhere. Keep an eye on Harmon. Looking for a 7. 795 with a 4. 191. Welcome to the 7s. Ryan Harmon.
Now he's going 7s.
Uy, cruzando el charco, felicitaciones para Ryan de 8.04. Entra por primera vez a la zona de los 7 segundos con 7.95 y sube a la posición número 8 a 191 millas por hora.
And Brianna Smeltz will not make the field. And a bit of a heartbreak here for that machine. Beautiful car. She's awesome. She'll be back.
Uf, la damita quedó fuera en esta categoría. Sport Front Wheel Drive. Felicidades a Ryan Harmon entrando a los 7 segundos.
So our starting line crew is waiting to get calling for another pair. So Chad Carpenter, left side. He's not in the show right now. 8:18 with a 6, his best pass, and Carl Bigris out of Quebec, Canada, not in the field either. 8:10 with a 5 to get in.
So right now, Andrew Fernandez and Jason Marsh could potentially be bumped out of this category right now, as Chad Carpenter and Carl Bigris will get ready to go side by side. Bigris, the white machine out of Quebec, right side, 92 Civic K-Series power under the hood. Right now, only a 909 and only 143. Keep an eye on the 60 foot and see if he can roll through the gears in order to get down the racetrack. Chad Carpenter is that silver machine out of Pennsylvania, 92 Honda Civic B-Series power under the hood. It's been a 25 and an 18 at 184. Carpenter needs a fantastic run to try to qualify for this field. Again, you've got 5 cars not in the 7s at this moment, and I think a 7 is what you're gonna need to get in the field as we look back behind the rest of the cars still on the outside looking in. Both cars in the full stage line. Flight's gonna be down. Carpenter looks good on the 60 foot. Keep an eye on the left lane. Does he have enough to make the field?
7 seconds, 7.
Top end of the racetrack. 798 with a 6 for Chad Carpenter. He's in the field. 824 with a 3 for Carl Bigris. Best run of the weekend, but gonna fall short to the 20th spot. Chad Carpenter, number 11. Caqueto, 3 cars. Not the 7s, and in danger, I think, of not making the field.
Wow. El auto número 16 está cualificando con 8.07, que es Andrew Fernández, Jockey Racing. Ya tenemos 13 autos en la zona de los 7.8 y 7.9. Están volando bajito los Sport Front Wheel Drive, los que dicen que embarran pista, los que no vuelan. Mírate eso. Y mira quién viene entrando por el carril derecho. La boricua en los carriles, Johanna Marí. Viene, ¿dónde están los boricuas? ¿Dónde están los boricuas? Meneza Bandera. PR Beauty, buscando cualificar mejor. Esta es la posición número 14 con 803. Ray R. Tuning. Carril izquierdo, Gerald Vargas, también boricua, Prajonto Racing.
Two cars have been turning heads in the front-wheel drive category. Joanna Marie on the right side out of Florida. She's got an 803 in the field with a number 14 spot, but the far side, Yaro Vargas Lopez in the P-Tune machine. Nope on board, not on the field right now. Did Norris put a tune-up in to give his driver a shot? Both are in. Clean launches for both. 140 short for Marie, 151 for Vargas.
Uy, va para los
Keep it on the
7.
right lane, top end of the racetrack.
Toma.
796, Marie is in. 8099 for Yarrow.
Nuevo récord para Joanna Marie. 796. 181 millas para PR Beauty. Los boricua al Callao.
Career best run for Joanna Marie. Yarrow Vargas Lopez will be the first alternate right now with the 8099 in the number 17 spot. Your next pair here, another set not in. The one to the left is the big surprise. Kevin Ailman, not in the field right now. Number 19 right at the moment with an 818. Watch the 60-foot. We know this car is capable of 760s here on the Coors Light side. Napa side, Claudio Hampala also outside looking in.
Zumba, vamos allá, Kevin Alemán, Chapulín Performance Junior en los controles por el carril derecho, cualificando hasta el momento número 19. Kevin Alemán, hay que apretar el Chapulín Performance Junior. Fresh Motorsport, Claudio Hampala por el carril derecho, Kevin por el izquierdo.
These guys are both ready to go. Ailman and Hampala both are in. Hampala's going to struggle. 134 short for Ailman. Tipping on the left side of the racetrack.
Yeah.
795 with a 183. So he is in the field and they're happy. He's number 9 in the field. That 134 short time tells me there's a lot more left in the back half of that car, though.
15 autos en la zona de los 7, 8 y 7, 9 y cualifican solamente 16, gente. El auto número 16 con 805.
He is down big on the mile per hour. Based on what we saw in the 60, there should have been a lot more on that car. Kevin Ailman maybe not quite showing, got into the show. Hampala outside looking in.
Oye, hizo octavo de 5-2 al octavo, es un octavo de 7-8 para Kevin Alemán, así que está que parte ese Civic.
So Jason Marsh and Chris Sellers, they're both a pair of cars outside looking in. Sellers right side, another one of the Norris Prangle 2 machines out of New York. Number 22 right now needs a 7. Jason Marsh just got bumped out with an 810 with a 5. 8051 is on the board. That is Tom Turner, the lone car that has not ran a 7. Michael Manley, 799 to the number 15 spot.
Oye, Chris Seller por el derecho cualificando número 22 y número 19 Jason Mark con 8-10. Última oportunidad de la categoría es por front wheel drive.
Sellers is in, waiting on Marsh. Marsh is in, lights are down. Good 60s from both. Top of the racetrack. 816 to a 926. Neither one of them will qualify for the 16-car field. Tom Turner stays on the bump.
Viene vamos allá, boricua por el carril derecho, los fanáticos de Nati Racing. La escudería de JR El Chirripea, Rafa El Duro, Juan Famania. Vamos allá, mecánica Scarface Performance. Le llaman ahora el Besucon, me dicen por ahí. Vamos arriba, Negro Beard, Ray R. Tuning. Ismael Medina por el carril izquierdo. Vamos allá, El Duro.
All right, so sounds like we got some pieces of body out there. We're going to get those up before we send the pair down. Now, this is a massive anticipation moment for these two drivers in the extreme front-wheel drive category sitting on the start line. Juan Famania's car on the right, the JRF ship repairs machine. The left is going to be Ishmael Medina in the number 24 spot, 26 for Juan. I've said it from the start. You've got to have a 7 to get in this field. The bump spot, that 805 is Tom Turner. Michael Manley in the number 15 spot with a 799.8. Wes Spry, last year's winner, right now is the number 14 qualifier with a 99.0. If you want to know how tight this field is, the top of the board, Victor Alvarez, a 781. Right now, the bump is an 805.1. And again, Michael Manley in the number 15 spot, a 99.8. Will Tom Turner be able to hold the spot down? Will Juan Famania or Isabel Medina put a 7 on the board?
All right, we've got a little storyline here going on in Extreme Front Wheel Drive. The class that just puts holes and eats up engines. Victor Alvarez, you just went through one yourself right here.
Well, this is, it shouldn't be XFWD, it should be X Pro Mod, because these are little 4-cylinder Pro Mods. If you think about it, it's the same amount of power per cubic inch, and that's why it's hard on these things, that's why they break. We're making 400 horsepower per hole out of a little 4-cylinder. It's a lot.
That's a lot for the little engine that could.
Yeah, no, for sure. So I think we cracked the head because we got water coming out of the turbocharger. This is exactly why we made this run. We were number 1 qualifier. We didn't need to make a run. We made this run to make sure that the car was still solid and good for first round of elimination. So now we got some work to do. We'll swap an engine and we'll get up there. But, you know, I'm one of the first ones to do it. Everybody gives the front wheel drive guys a hard time. But with that, you also have to take into account how impressive these cars are. It's 400 horsepower per hole. It's a 4-cylinder making 1,600 plus horsepower going 200 mile an hour. It's on the traction control the whole way. There's nothing about what these engines do that's easy. So yeah, we're gonna break some shit.
Well, you and Bradley Dillon will be back there changing engines, and you're gonna come back around. We're gonna have eliminations in a little while.
Yeah, and we'll probably still be number 1 qualifier hopefully, and we'll get ready and we'll be ready to go. We'll win.
We'll let you get to work.
We're here to win. That's what we're here to do.
We're here to get the cup.